Good day, crafty chums, and welcome to my channel. It's Nikki here, aka Carson de Cat's Life, or Carson de Cat, one or the other. Today I thought we could make some paper beads. They're quite fun to make, and quite easy, quite fun, and a little bit addictive too. So I thought we could do that. What you need is some coloured paper. And I've got some jelly print paper here that I'm going to cut up and do. This is the width of this is something like 8 inches, I think. Length, not the width. There you go. The length is, this paper is 8 1/4 inches. And if you do this at 8 1/4 inches long, then you get quite small beads. If you have a piece that's 11 and 12 long, then of course you're going to get fatter beads because you have more material in which to make the beads. So what you need to do first is make some triangles, and as easy as that. So I'm just going to go along here. I'm not going to have them too wide. I'm actually going to so I'm just angling the paper to make a long thin triangle. You can make an inch wide, 3/4 of an inch, inch and a half, depends on what, how you want your beads to be. So I'm just going to cut up the paper. I'm doing this to show you different patterns, and I'll do a solid colour as well, and I'll just chop all this up. Okay, so some of the tools that you'll need for this is if you have a quilling tool, it's good because it's got that split there and it holds the paper in nicely, or you can use a toothpick or some little wooden stick, anything really that's small and that you can wind the actual paper around. But the thing is that to harden them up and that, I've used a clear embossing powder on mine, but you can use varnish or clear nail polish or a lacquer or something like that. But I've only got the embossing powder. So of course when you use the embossing powder, when you heat it up with the heat tool, you'll need something wooden that doesn't heat up and burn your fingers while you're doing it. So just bear that one in mind. So all you need to do is, what I'll do is I'll do it on the I've got an orange stick here that I actually use in my mixed media work. What you have to do is put it on there and roll it around. Of course, the wider the diameter of the stick you use, the wider the hole that is going to come into the bead, and that's another thing you bear in mind when you're doing it as well. So I'm just winding this one up. I'm going to pop some glue on the end, and that's basically how you start. And that's how you start off making your beads. So that's the start, and the bit that comes next, of course, is the actual embossing, or putting on the lacquer or the varnish. So we'll just wind up a few more so that you can see how easy this is to do. How pretty these purple beads are going to look as well. Do a couple of purple ones. You can see I've got a little strip of white in the middle as well from, and the white's there because I had the paint doesn't go all the way to the end, so that's why it's white in the middle there. We'll wind up this one here. Which is also a good way of using up your jelly print papers. as well. Of course I've got sticky fingers because I've got glue on there now. It's an interesting pattern that's forming from the print on the paper. So yeah, you can get all kinds of different colour beads and things just from different patterns and prints that you might have on the paper that you're using. Sorry, it's the glue sticking my fingers together. So another thing you can do to make your beads more interesting as well is to just run a marker pen along the outsides of the paper, and this will give you a different pattern as well. So we'll see what this looks like. I'll just do this and then we'll roll it up, see what happens. Might just come out all black for all I know. Then we'll just roll it up and see what happens. I'm just going to cover over the that white strip and make it all black. So I'm going to add another pattern to this. Okay, what I'm going to do is just finish off a few more of these beads and then we'll come back and emboss. So what I've got here is my very dirty Versamark stamp pad. So it's my little glue pad. Got my beads. Got a little container there. I've got this here, and then my heat gun, the toothpick. What I'm going to do first is, oh yeah, got my embossing powder and that, and then this little thing here. What I'm going to do is pop this on, get this well covered with the glue from the glue pad. Pour some clear embossing powder over it and emboss away, heat it up. What I'm going to do is put a second coat on as well after the first, so we'll just go on with this. What you've got to do is keep turning this around as well. really quick enough, you can catch this without having to glue it up again, because it'll stick to the melted embossing powder. Heat it up, and don't forget to rotate it as you go. I'm going to do it 3 times because I don't have any of the thick embossing powder. As you get up to 3 though, the it does get a little bit dodgy, so you do have to keep turning the bead round as you go. So I'm just going to keep turning this until I set it down to cool. But also what you can do is, if you're doing this on toothpicks, you can put it into a, just stick it in a little pad to rest to cool, or into, you know, just anything that you can stick a little toothpick into, you know, that'll keep it upright. So, but what I've got there is just my little tweezers, and I'm just going to pop it there until it cools, and then I'll pop it into the tray. So, you know, you find your own ways of doing things. I don't have these toothpicks and that or anything to stick it in, so that's what I'm doing. Just, you know, find your own way to do things, really. I'm going to do this black one and see what it comes up like, because I can't wait to see this. I've already got the dirty dirty Versamark pad, so it doesn't make any difference really, does it? I'm hoping this will shine up really nicely. We'll see. And it did. It's shining really nicely. Don't know whether you can see the shine on that. See if it'll focus on it. Probably not, but that's beautiful and shiny. Yes. So this one's dry, so I'm just going to pop it into the tray there and then swap this over. Till it cools down and I can get it into the little tray there. What I've done also is this is a little bit thicker, and that's because it's a doubled up. I've doubled up on 2 of the triangles there, so it's a little bit thicker than the others. This is one that I've just put down, if you can see, it's come out thicker. when I put the embossing powder on this one, it might glob a little bit, so it's really important to keep the hot embossing powder turning, so that you get an even roll of the embossing powder, if you know what I mean. Probably not explaining this very well, but you'll see as you do it yourself. So there we are, finished making my beads. They're all different shapes, sizes, different colours, but they're quite hard. The embossing powder has made them nice and hard and that, but I absolutely love it as an art form. It's just like, everyone's different. Everyone is different. They're just like fabulous. Love it. Love making them. This, I think, could be actually very addictive. And I adore making them. They're just such fun to make. So I hope you make some too. Hope you like that little thing. I hope you followed the tutorial. And look at that. Don't you just love it? All those different colours. Yes, of course you do. Great fun to make. Hope you do it too. Hope to see you again soon. Hope you can follow what I was doing. And you know, it's the cat's life. Bye. So today I thought we could make some